Hello. Let's be real. Let's just be really, really, really real. This is me right now, Saturday. There's just 444. And these videos are, often I say, like channeled messages. They're what speaks through me. And I believe they're valuable. I believe what we speak, we express, and we create. And that it is so important to have self-expression in whatever way that shows up, to get beyond the layers that get in the way of that. That sometimes what we speak may be coming from a protective place, a defensive place, an overthinking place, an ego place. So I just did some breath work. I did 3-6-9 breathing to help me get to this, what I would consider more of my heart space, my soul space, the 0 point space where the only thing that is here is now, and then I can show up authentically. So I don't really do any editing or too much editing to my videos. I don't really spend the time checking to see how my hair is. I don't use filters. And sometimes there's noise in the background. Sometimes I do these videos from my yoga studio where I work as a therapist and yoga instructor, the integration of yoga and therapy together. That's what I do at my full-time job. I'm also a poet, creative. I am a mom. I am a friend. I am a woman. All these ways that I identify myself, but also I'm none of it and I'm all of it. Really, I just am. I'm just here. You are you. And if you're watching this, then I'm also mirroring you. And so what I'm saying also comes from you because everything is connected. We have a sense of oneness with each other because we are all energy. And we are, in my belief, souls in a human body. So yeah, so authentic me coming here, offering whatever wants to be channeled through me. Yesterday I saw the movie The Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. Loved it. I loved it. I came out of it just from this really wholesome, connective place of Bob Dylan lives through me in some way. He was so creative, so artistic. He was so poetic, so lyrical, so musically talented. And I think those are the leaders of the world in some way. We all could be leaders in some way. But that creativity is where we are meant, or creativity is how we connect. Creativity is how we have better understanding of ourselves. Creative expression, however that is for you. It doesn't have to be writing. It doesn't have to be some form of art, so to speak. It can be through design. It can be through cooking. It can be through walking outside. Whatever is calling you, listen to that yearning in your heart that has something to say or to share or to create, to engage in, to experience. I have been creative all my life, and in a way we all are. And it is what helps me, enhances my sense of aliveness. And that may not be for everybody. Some people are like, no, I'm not creative. And fine, I would probably argue, yes, you are. But I'm not going to argue. I am not going to persuade. If you were here and if you were watching and this is resonating with you, take it. Take it as your message. Take it as a sign. Take it as a listening to you to be yourself and to share and express and create and engage and experience in ways that are most resonant and exciting and igniting and uplifting and fulfilling for you. I come here and I'm not thinking. And that's what I love about it, is I'm just being. And I might have a tangent that I go off of and you get to see me in my authentic self because I truly believe in the power of this creativity. And this creativity within myself is enhanced when I am being, and I had to move through layers of that. And I do that through breath work. I do that through meditation. I do that through somatic yoga-based practices. And for a long time, I wasn't sharing anything. I wasn't coming up on here and speaking, or maybe for a really long time, I wasn't writing. I used to write poetry and lyrics all the time when I was a kid. started when I was 6, 7 years old, just like singing, and words would come out. And then eventually I recorded myself, or I put it on paper. I have journals filled with them. And then I stopped. I grew up only child, very lonely. Had an imaginary friend when I was really young, so my creativity was there. But I often had to fend for myself. I often had to play by myself. My parents both worked, and so I had engaged in a lot of imaginative play. And what I love about childhood, what I love about children, is their childlike nature, where you just do with what you're drawn towards. It doesn't have to be someone told you to do this, someone told you to play a certain way, someone told you to do things or act or how to be in a certain way. That tends to come along later. But when I was playing, I was playing. I was using my imagination to engage, to be curious, to be fascinated, to express myself. I wrote about daisies. I wrote about hating school. And then as I got a little bit older, I became really anxious. I had separation anxiety, awful stomach aches. I didn't know it was anxiety. I just wanted to be at home with my parents or where I felt comfortable. I was worried that I wasn't going to get picked up. I would cry every day, horrible stomach aches, go to the nurse. I'd have to see the school counselor. I didn't know what was going on, and no one really put words to it. So I didn't have the language of what I was feeling, and feelings weren't expressed often in my home. Or if they were, it was to try to make me feel better, in a way kind of dismissing the emotions. You don't need to feel that way right now. Why are you anxious? Or why are you scared? Why is your stomach hurt? Like, you're fine. And it was all well intended, though it ended up kind of suppressing my emotions, leading me to believe that I need to be a certain way, have to be happy, to be good. I think that's common for a lot of us. And now, as we get older, I lost that expression. Maybe I didn't lose it, but I wasn't engaging in the poetry anymore. I stopped from like high school up until my 30s. It was yoga that got me back into it, because I was told in my yoga teacher training to write every day. And when I went back to writing, it came out poetically, lyrically. I hear words like songs, and I thought that everyone could, like melodies in my head. It just flows. I'm doing it right now. I'm laughing just at the humanness that we are human, and we all have different ways of expressing. And I'm so thankful for that yoga teacher training, because it brought me back to me. It brought me back to my childhood. It was the practice of movement, of being with my body, of doing breath work, of chanting. The stillness, the slowing down, the knowing that I don't have to do anything. I choose to be here recording this in this authentic way. My oversized sweatshirt, looking down at my screen, not trying to be professional. Just being here with you. Hoping and knowing that it will resonate and land for one person. One person is enough. And you know who that one person that it is most enough for? That's me. And I share it in hopes, not hopes, but to serve, to give, that you have something worth expressing too. And it brings you back to yourself, to your childlike nature. And in that playfulness, in that being state, wisdom comes, ideas come. Sometimes it's called the 0 point, when you do that breath work and you reach that point of just there's nothing, because there's no expectation, there's no analysis. It's just you in this empty blank space, where then, an idea comes. And for me, it was like, I'm gonna record a video. Maybe I'm gonna go for a walk. Maybe it's gonna be thankful now. I'm gonna make something to eat. I'm gonna fuel my body, or I'm gonna call a friend. Anything can come. The possibilities are infinite, and it's beautiful. I got chills right now, and I so deeply want that for you. Because to share the buzzing, the chills, the excitement, the uplift, the creativity, the expression, the authentic story. Struggled with anxiety, separation anxiety, and it came back in my older relationships, separation anxiety in my relationships in high school, constant overthinking, worried that I did something wrong, that someone's mad at me, analyzing, preparing what I'm going to say before I say it. I have so much more awareness now, and it's through that awareness, that higher consciousness, because of the practices, these somatic practices, the tapping practices that I offer the rest of these videos. Go through the other videos. They're all free. They're all there for you. And if they land, if they support you as a vessel for you to connect back to yourself, to recognize your own symptoms. I'm a therapist, and they're not actual mental health disorders, in my opinion. They're symptoms because they have something to tell you. They're signals. They're showing you where you're not free. I was on anxiety medication for 20 plus years, and I'm off it now. How amazing. How amazing. By choosing to engage in practices that support removing the layers so I have greater access to my heart and to my soul and to my truth to be able to express and to share from this 0 point or this authentic place. Express, create, share. Whatever it is, your story, yourself. Allow yourself to be seen truly as you, knowing that there's going to be people who might comment on here, whatever they want to say, or they might not comment at all. A lot of my videos will say, I hear the noise in the background. Okay, but can you hear me? Is that coming through? Notice where you have opinions, and opinions aren't right or wrong. If like that person didn't like the noise, okay, it's not for them. Notice where you are your own barrier, where you are in your own limitations. And I don't know the right exact way. How I do it for me, when it comes up for me, may not be the way that it comes up for you. Though through the practices, there's a greater opening to be with yourself, this relationship with yourself. Choose you by choosing what resonates, what excites you, what fulfills you, what nurtures you. And it might not always be comfortable from the start. Look at my breathing techniques, look at the tapping. So much love and so much gratitude. I appreciate my anxiety now. I still have the obsessive thinking at times, the ruminations. And for a while, I was trying really hard to love it away. It's like, if I just love it, then it will change, right? It's going to go into something else. It's like, no, for now, it's part of me. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It still thinks it's helping me. So I accept it. I accept it. It's not used to that love, because for a long time, my heart was closed. Thought I had an open heart. For a long time, it's like, I'm so open, and still, nope, not as open as I thought. Very protective. Understandable. Protecting our hearts, protecting our emotions. Understandable. I accept that. And they're starting to open, and I'm starting to feel. And through that, I'm starting to express, and I'm starting to notice where the fear and the anxiety is so much less. So much less. Thank you for being you, for showing up, listening, resonating, being you. Practice. Just being you in the moment, choosing to engage in your self-expression in whatever way or form that is. You can express by walking. You can express by breathing. You may express by dancing. You may express by writing. You may express by talking. You may express by what you wear. Go. Express yourself. Someone's listening. You amaze me.